하이브 친환경 경영 성적표 나왔는데 낙제점이란다. 키. 평소에 플라스틱 앨범 많이 만드는 거 보고 예상은 함. 이러면서 물에 놓는 재질로 포카 만들면 그게 뭔 소용? 앨범 생산부터 줄여야지. 메일만 적으면 되는 간단한 청원 참여로 엉망진창 하이브 혼쭐 내주자. Okay, this will be an interesting video because I was asking myself whether I should make this and whether I'm overreaching. But I decided, based on my research, that I have a valid point to make. So what's up, people? Today, all the HYBE-related articles were talking about one thing. KPOP4PLANET protests in front of HYBE's headquarters. 하이브부터 멈춰. 플라스틱 쓰레기 연간 800톤, 포카 뽑기 그만, 글로벌 팬덤 사옥 앞 시위. So for those of you who don't know, KPOP4PLANET is a climate action movement that involves K-pop fans from around the world advocating for environmental and sustainability issues. Their goal is to use the power and influence of the K-pop fandom to raise awareness of climate change and push for more environmentally conscious practices. Now, the campaign against HYBE today was called Plastic Album Sins. 플라스틱의 죄악 혹은 플라스틱 앨범의 죄악. It kind of sounds familiar. It reminds me of something, especially the wording 죄악 and the sins. Anyways, more on this later. And they highlighted that HYBE's role in generating plastic waste, especially through album sales that include random photo cards and fan sign event lotteries. So they're making a point that these marketing strategies encourage fans to buy excessive numbers of albums, which leads to more plastic waste. 돈 없는 플라스틱 앨범 중복 구매 상술. 앨범 시장 한번 뒤집어 엎어봅시다. So, first thing first, let's get one thing clear. K-pop4PLANET, I think, is doing important work, right? We all want a more sustainable future. I do. And their goals, like reducing plastic waste and encouraging greener practices, are commendable, right? They've organized impactful campaigns like, I think, No K-pop on a Dead Planet, pushing for changes that matter, right? Climate change is a very real threat, and they've successfully rallied thousands of fans around the globe to raise awareness. And in fact, their leading activist, Lee Da-yeon, was named as one of 100 most influential and inspiring women of the year in 2023 by BBC. And she's a very proud fan of Aespa because I think she said it herself. Yeah. So she started her K-pop fan career with boy group Beast. I don't know if you know this group, but they used to be super popular. And then she's currently a huge fan of Aespa from SM Entertainment. Okay. And this is where it gets a little complicated. There's a noticeable imbalance in how they're choosing their targets. Like HYBE, like any major company, isn't perfect. And we all know this, right? I know this, even though I'm a fan and a shareholder. But they're not sitting on their hands either. They've taken steps towards sustainability, including launching, eco-friendly packaging for albums and joining the RE100 initiative to transition to 100% renewable energy and publishing an annual ESG report, right? So they're launching this eco-friendly products and services initiatives, and they planted like 200,000 trees back in 2023, and they're working on this. And I know this and I care about this as a shareholder because I have spent like a full hour reading their 2023 ESG report and actually uploaded 3 separate videos on my channel. But what K-pop4PLANET doesn't highlight as much is a fact that other major entertainment companies like SM Entertainment, JYP, and YG are also deeply involved in the same marketing strategies. In fact, this is a funny part. SM was the company that popularized random photo cards back in 2010 with Girls' Generation's O album. Interestingly, Minijin who criticized HYBE for the random photo card practice during her first press conference, was actually one of the pioneers of this business model during her time at SM, according to this article. Yeah. So it says, K-pop 시장에서는 이 포카의 시작을 그룹 소녀시대가 지난 2010년 발매한 정규 2집 5로 본다. 멤버들의 포토카드를 랜덤으로 멤버 앨범에 삽입. 소녀시대가 시작한 삼촌 팬들을 비롯한 국내의 소원들의 지갑을 열었다. So the industry sees that this random photo card business was considered to be Girls' Generation's second full-length album. It started with this album. By inserting the members' photo cards randomly into the album, it opened the wallets of uncle fans, started by Girls' Generation, as well as 소원, which is a fandom name of GG, right? Anyways, so that's something to be noted, right? And since then, this has become, this business model has become an industry-wide standard with, JYP, YG, and others also using similar tactics. And here's where it gets tricky. While KPOP4PLANET criticizes HYBE's marketing practices, they haven't staged similar protests in front of SM, JYP, or YG's headquarters. I was looking through all these articles, praying, please tell me that you had visited SM, JYP, or YG so that I don't have to make this video. But it turns out they did visit Dior, the luxury brand in Seoul, Cheongdam area, but no, they didn't visit any other major companies except HYBE. And they did visit HYBE once before, 2022. Okay? And what they did at the time was that, they staged the event in front of HYBE's headquarters once again, bringing attention to plastic waste by displaying a pile of discarded albums and promotional materials, okay, in front of the HYBE building. So, the focus of the public demonstrations has remained on HYBE alone. And I think this selective targeting does make you wonder if there's some unconscious bias at play. Okay. Now, as a HYBE shareholder, I might be the one actually biased here, but things get interesting. Take their recent Twitter activity. Okay. For example, multiple tweets have called out HYBE's album marketing strategies as evil, and some of the language is quite aggressive. First thing first, feeling guilty after buying multiple plastic albums that can't be recycled? This one's for you. Vote for the worst marketing trick HYBE uses to exploit fans. Endless random photo cards, multiple album covers, albums as fan sign lots. And this was the today's protest, right? HYBE부터 악덕 앨범 마케팅 멈춰. HYBE, you stop the evil album marketing first, right? HYBE 악덕 마케팅에 팬들은 지구야 미안해. HYBE does the evil marketing and fans say, sorry, Earth. It goes on and on. And, them doing this demonstration today got all the media attention. This is funny, right? They used... Okay, so they did name drop. They did say the main entertainment companies in Korea, including HYBE, right? But they still pulled off this performative act in front of HYBE building, getting all this media attention, and with using Bang Si-hyuk's face with, I think this is a cash money, and it says bang bang, making it look like a puppeteer. So, yeah. HYBE can fix this album waste problem by ending their crazy marketing. But once again, HYBE is not alone. And do you think if HYBE stops it, everyone else is going to be obedient and follow? Like SM, JYP, and YG? Okay, maybe that's the case, but maybe not. Okay? And they were doing this performance, cutting these, strings from Bang Si-hyuk's hands. Yeah, K-pop fans are breaking up with HYBE's toxic marketing tricks. Man, HYBE, lead the change for a green K-pop industry. Companies are pushing album sales with random photo cards, endless album covers, and fan sign lottery tickets. It's time to follow K-pop fans and cut the dirty marketing. Say no to more plastic album waste. We have BSS. What is this? We have BSS by 17, Perfect Night, and Anti-Fragile by Lister Evans song to support today's biggest moment. Oh, so they played HYBE artist music there? Okay, interesting. Oh, they're throwing CDs. Okay, all right. So once again, I also believe that over the long term, we should, head for the more sustainable future and sustainable practices, And I personally believe that, one day in the future, we can all use like NFTs instead of physical photo cards. Of course, those fans who want to, collect physical photo cards, they should, right? And they will be able to do that. But we should, at the same time, we should think about some, using technology to, help out with a sustainable future while enjoying the entertainment itself, right? And let's go on. We love to see it. Let's hear your voice for a greener K-pop industry. Vote below. And what are we voting for? HYBE continues toxic marketing. HYBE stops toxic marketing. So the both options are both about HYBE being toxic. Okay, they got 2 votes. Interesting. And here, they explain their reasoning why they target HYBE only. Korea's Fair Trade Commission has recognized HYBE as a conglomerate, a major financially influential business. HYBE is the first K-pop company to receive this status. This is why we sent an open letter to HYBE sharing K-pop fans' demands for the company to end toxic marketing. What does it say? K-pop fans, have you seen this? Do something, we guess. What does that even mean? Vote for the worst marketing trick HYBE uses to exploit fans, once again. But like I'm going to say it over and over again, even though HYBE is the number one, the largest market cap entertainment company in Korea, they're not the only one. And are you naive enough to believe that if they stop, everyone else is going to follow? Or do you secretly wish that HYBE stops producing albums so that other companies, like the one that you rather like, can oversell? I don't know. Who knows? 42% of K-pop fans think that using albums for the fan solidarity is HYBE's worst marketing trick. Wow. The generalization here is crazy. 나의 팬심 악용하는 하이브의 최악의 상술에 투표해주세요. Okay, yeah. What is this? Oh, I got albums that fan sign lottery is HYBE's worst marketing trick. Damn. Okay. Stop the random photo cards. Oh, that's not, instead of ruining our photo cards, how about you, HYBE, show us the way to a green K-pop industry? Stop the random photo cards and tackle plastic album waste instead. Melting photo cards. Yo, this is definitely a reference to Minijin's statement during her first press conference, right? Goodness. 나의 팬심 악용하는 하이브 최악의 상술에 투표해주세요. And it goes on and on. Vote for the worst marketing. And the one that I was a bit like iffy about and a bit like offended by as a K-pop, fan and shareholder, and you see like they're, fangirling or fanboying. It's probably fangirling because she, the main activist, the fan of Aespa, is responsible for online communications and marketing, right? But anyways, this post. 하이브 친환경 경영 성적표 나왔는데 낙제점이란다. 키. 평소에 플라스틱 앨범 많이 만드는 거 보고 예상은 함. 이러면서 물에 놓는 재질로 포카 만들면 그게 뭔 소용? 앨범 생산부터 줄여야지. 메일만 적으면 되는 간단한 청원 참여로 엉망진창 하이브 혼쭐 내주자. Okay. So, I mean, this tweet feels more like a personal attack, They're using some aggressive language and satire and sarcastically mock HYBE's environmental efforts. The post mocks HYBE's ESG score, calling it a failure, 낙제. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. And using phrases like 엉망진창 하이브 같이 혼내줄 사람, which roughly translates to let's give messed up HYBE a hard time. 앨범은 쌓여가는데 물에 녹는 포토카드가 무슨 소용? Once again, it's definitely a reference to 미니진's line, right? 이거 보면 당연한 결과 아님? Such a mockery. And what does it say? Why does it say 2,123 though? Losing credibility there? Anyways, yeah. And what do you think about this post in particular? You know, like sarcastically questions why photo cards that dissolve in water would make any real difference unless they reduce overall album production. And like I said, if you don't remember, this is what Minijin said during her first press conference, and I'm pretty sure they used this line on purpose. And I feel like the devilish, cartoon figure and mocking tone also give this critique a personal edge, which could alienate some fans. Of course, KPOP4PLANET claims they're calling on a HYBE to lead by example, given their global influence. But the exclusivity of their targeting and the aggressive nature of their messaging make you wonder, why aren't other companies being called out with the same intensity? 물에 남는 포토카드 만들기. EXO. I guess she also loves EXO or something. And Plastic 앨범의 죄악. Remember, the campaign title of today was Plastic Album Sins, and that's also the secret document that Minijin created, the document file, right, the Word file, as part of a plan to escape from HYBE. HYBE의 7대 죄악, right? The 7 greatest sins of HYBE. And I wonder if that's also a reference to Minijin. I don't know. What do you think? Anyways, and I was curious, why aren't other companies being called out with the same intensity? Like I said, I was curious and visited their website. Here we go. And this is where things get a bit more interesting when we talk about potential bias and their focus on HYBE. The team is made of passionate K-pop fans. Most of them support groups like EXO, Twice, NCT, Aespa, yeah, this is the leader, and G-Idol, and Mamamoo. Okay? Now, this isn't to question their dedication to environmental causes, but it's worth pointing out that none of the core team members are fans of HYBE artists. And they're all deeply involved with artists from SM, JYP, YG, I don't see any YG though, or other labels, There's not a single ARMY, or a single Carrot, or MOA, or Engine, And, well, that's fine, okay? That's fine. And their dedication to environmental causes isn't in question, once again, right? Does this mean that KPOP4PLANET's mission is invalid? Absolutely not. They're raising important issues about sustainability in an industry that desperately needs to change. But when you see such a heavy focus on HYBE with no similarly visible protest or harsh criticism directed at SM or JYP or YG, it's fair to wonder if there's some bias in their approach. If we're going to hold HYBE accountable, shouldn't we hold every company contributing to the problem to the same standard? The plastic waste problem in K-pop isn't unique to HYBE. It's industry-wide. Also, I read this article on Koreaboo. HYBE labels gets a little praise for their action to protect the environment. Hopefully, it will actually do some good. Oh my god, the smirk there. Gets a little praise. Hopefully, it will actually do some good. That's beautiful. Okay, now let's go back to this article, today's protest, and talk about the imagery in the protest they pulled off in front of HYBE today. They used the image of Bang Si-hyuk as a puppeteer with a sign that says "Bang Bang." The message is clear. They're portraying him as orchestrating what they call exploitative marketing. But again, why just HYBE? So at this point, I can't help but make a connection between the public protests KPOP4PLANET is staging in front of HYBE and the trolling or hostile demonstrations we've seen earlier this year, like the funeral wreaths and protest trucks sent by aunties. And I don't think making people make such connections is a good thing for K-pop4PLANET, strategically speaking. I don't know, maybe this is just me, but this type of demonstration and this type of like aggressive promotion or marketing or this campaign might it could grab attention, but focusing solely on HYBE risk creating associations with hostile protest, which can undermine their message. Again, SM, JYP, and other companies are using similar marketing tactics, yet HYBE is the one facing public protest. Here and here. Okay. 2022 and 2024. It leads to questions of whether this is an effective strategy or whether their protests are starting to look more like targeted hostility, And maybe I'm far-reaching, but once again, the leader is a fan of Aespa. And I hate to say this, and you know this because the last time I talked about that, what was it, Twitter user, I do it, sue it, or I sue it, do it, the guy who wants Suga out of BTS, sending, fundraising to send funeral wreaths and trucks to HYBE. While a lot of people believe that he or she is a fake army and instead secret NCT fan, I was like, maybe or maybe not. Maybe that person's just a multi because they're all sorts of fans. But I could not help but make that connection here. Given the aggressive language and targeted hostility, if K-pop4PLANET's goal is to push for greener practices across the industry, they should consider expanding their protest to include other companies, not just HYBE. Limiting these high visibility actions to HYBE risk undermining their message and alienating fans who could otherwise support their cause. In the end, their work is essential. I would like to believe, but it's important for fans to recognize when there's selective criticism. If the goal is to make K-pop greener, we should be pushing for change across the board, not just at HYBE, but at all major players in the industry. So what do you think? Does this type of protest imagery go too far, or is it necessary to make a strong point? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. And let's truly watch our language and be civilized and be respectful. Okay? I would like to ask for your opinions, but let's have a very nice conversation in a civilized and respectful manner. Okay? Thank you guys. Stay awesome, stay positive, and stay classy. Peace and love. Bye-bye.